All right, now, the 1950s presented many South African women jazz musicians, including Miriam Makeba, Dorothy Masuku, Abigail Kubeka, Thandi Klaasen, with challenges from being harassed and banned from performing on stages, marked only for white people, to being exiled and being forced to pursuing their musical careers outside of the country. But since then, times have changed, and these women have continued to carry the flag and share their love for jazz music with the younger generations. Thandi Klaasen, Abigail Kubeka, and Dorothy Masuku are in studio with us this morning to share their memories of that time. This is a massive honor to have all of you in one studio at the same time.
Wonderful.
This doesn't happen very often.
No,
Yes,
Happy
sure.
Women's Day, ladies.
Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Thank you. I hope so too. You know, because it is a day that I know that, you know, women's issues come to the fore, that we celebrate women, and yet we, you know, there are still so many difficult things that we have to get through, and that's the reality. But for you ladies, when you look back at where you've come from, you know, how have we benefited as women in South Africa? Let's begin with you, Dorothy.
It's very hard to say because it's flabbergasting, you know, to really think of what happened yesterday and what's happening today.
Yeah.
Because when one thinks of yesterday, I have no words for it. I really don't have words for that.
Yeah.
But grateful that whatever is happening now should be happening, was supposed to be happening all the years. But good luck to the youngsters that are in this era now.
Yeah.
You know.
And taking it forward and doing everything that they happen to do. Abigail, let's move on to you. I mean, you know, in the introduction, I said, you know, times are not as good as they were now. I mean, stages were for white performers only, and certainly not female, certainly not black female jazz musicians getting onto a stage. I mean, that must have been absolutely taboo. What was it like for you?
It was a long, rough musical road to freedom.
Yeah.
We had to sing behind the curtain at times when we were working with our white counterparts because our faces wouldn't be seen on stage. You know, we had to sing behind the curtains.
And the whites were on stage.
The whites be on stage and my voice backstage, they must just hear my voice on stage.
Unbelievable.
And there was that curfew, 9 o'clock we had to be out of town.
Yeah.
You used to go to a nightclub and perform. Some nightclub owners would risk and say, come and perform. Because we were hustling to work. We needed to work. We needed to earn a living.
Yeah.
And then we would sing in the club, and whilst we're singing, they would have a security guy standing at the door, watching out for the police. And the police knew the clubs that were hiring black singers to perform. So they would always raid those clubs. And then the police would come, the security would say, police, and you had to run to the kitchen to go and pretend you washing dishes. Sometimes even put a duke on your beautiful styled wig, you know, and pretend you're washing dishes. And coming out of then, the police will you go back on stage and sing, summertime and the living is easy. Was it easy?
Certainly not.
Not. And then, that was not the end. After the show, 11 o'clock, they would be waiting for you. The van would be parked just in front of the door, with the doors open for you to just walk in. Nobody would say to you, go inside. You knew that van was waiting for you. Yeah. So all you had to do is just had to walk in and sit yourself in the van, and they would take you to the police station and spend a beautiful night there.
In a prison cell. What? How often did that happen to you? All the time?
All the time.
This is a regular occurrence.
Yes,
you know?
and sometimes it would happen to us coming from Benoni. I mean, we didn't have these highways and all these fancy roads. You had to drive through town to come to Soweto. And by the time the show comes out in Benoni, it's about 11, 12 o'clock. And you pass through town, it's about 1 a.m. What do you want in town this time? Nee, me basons, ons kom van Benoni, me bason wasn't Haseng there. And then, no, they would take our names down, and you would dare not use your African name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Koki. They asked Koki, what's your name? He said, Koki Tatalemaj. The Dutchman said, moet my nie 'n storie vertel nie. Ek soek net jou naam. My baas is nie 'n storie, is my naam. Nee, maar was is ta. Ek soek net jou naam. Okay, maybe ask me Names Koki.
Yeah.
You know?
Crazy.
It was tough.
It's almost difficult to understand when you're living in this day and age, but it's the reality. Tandia, this is the same thing you went through?
Yes, that's the same thing I went through too. You know, because nightclubs, they needed us because we were the best singers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the treatment was not the same. Even when we were singing with white singers, they were treated differently from us, the blacks.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, situations like this made you all leave the country because you had to continue to do what you did.
No, I never thought of leaving the country.
But you did perform overseas for a while.
Huh?
You performed overseas
Yes,
for a while.
I did, but not to live South
Not
Africa.
to live. So you never lived, you just went to perform.
What goes around comes around. Dit moet ngako.
Yeah.
Wabon. So I never thought of staying in overseas, in exception of my daughter because she was young. Then she went to Canada and she's doing very well in Canada. She even took Dorothy, she took Abigail, she took Dolly Ratebe
Yeah.
and Sophie Mgwina. She took them to, because she says that she was proud of us all.
Yeah.
She was not selfish to say, I'm bringing only my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Ladies, we're going to continue this discussion. There's so many more stories to hear. I hope you're enjoying this because this is gold on Morning Live at the moment. You stay tuned. The incredible women of South Africa and the women of jazz after this. Stay tuned.